Hey everyone, it's Liz here, and I thought I'd do a quick update. I've not turned into a ventriloquist. I have finally had my lip biopsy. I'm going to have to hit subtitles on this. I had my lip biopsy to check whether or not I have Sjogren's disease, and I don't know yet. They said it will take 3 to 4 weeks, and it's been 10 days so far. So basically I've had a terrible couple of 10 days since I had it done. I had it done and it was surprisingly fine. I had dental surgery in the past, and although this isn't dental, it's on the inside, look. It's longer than that, I can't open it anymore. And I got, look, this is Vaseline, by the way, not drill. So they cut it, the injections didn't hurt, the local anaesthetic, although my HOTS predictably went crazy and I started to feel faint and sweaty and all that. It is numb, it stayed numb, and they obviously has to cut it open and then taking bits out on that. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so once the numbness wore off, this bit is still numb there. It has been since they did it. They said that there's a small chance that if they hit a nerve, I might not get the feeling out there. So that's good. So I had it done and it was all good, and I did everything instruction-wise. I had soft food for the first couple of days, nothing hot to eat for the first 24 hours, nothing actually at all to eat for the first 24 hours because it hurt a lot. I'm using a straw to drink everything with, because when I drink I can't shut my mouth, so it all dribbles out the side, and so I have to have a straw to drink. I can't eat only soft-ish foods. Luckily the ice cream diet has been my friend, because the ice cream is easy to eat. The coldness of it takes the swelling down. And when it was at its worst, I put ice cube on the outside in a plastic bag, and that really helped. So anyway, I was expecting it to hurt a little bit after, which it did, and then not really much pain. And I was taking my paracetamol suspension that I take, and it all was good. So then, a couple of days ago, on the Thursday, I was due to have my MRI on my sore owl, and it was all going to plan. I got up kind of late-ish. My parents had come to get me to take me to the hospital, and overnight my mouth had really hurt and I cut. It was very dry, and 2 of my 3 stitches had just like all my stitches pushed their way out. With EDS, every operation I've ever had has been like dissolvable stitches. I think it's an EDS thing, because lots of people with EDS I know had the same issue where they don't dissolve, they just push their way out like worms. So 2 came out. I was like, fine, okay. And so I got dressed, and I was like, looked in the mirror just to check it was all looking okay, and went like just literally like that to look, and the whole line there slit open. No bleeding at all, a really deep gash, which made me feel very faint, very sick, and very panicky, because I was like, oh my god, like, I don't know what to do. So I called the maxillofacial department and told them what happened, and they said I had to go to A&E at the hospital. Now luckily, my MRI scan was at the same hospital, but my parents are going to take me to the scan, they were planning on coming later, and obviously they weren't ready. But when I told them, they said, "We'll come now." So they came as soon as they could, and we literally, when we got to the hospital, only had 1 hour between getting to the hospital and my scan. So I was like, A&E was so busy as well. It's like really, really busy. But luckily, because I'd called ahead and told the maxillofacial team, and I arrived, the A&E nurses called maxillofacial to come down straight away. I only had to wait 20 minutes, and he called me in. He was like, yeah, you need stitches. He re-numbed it, which really hurt this time, because I think it's so sore there. Stitched it up, and I was done, and I was able to go and have my scan. Now, my scan is like, nightmare, because I'd read on the thing that I had to get there an hour earlier, so that I had to drink all this fluid, which is supposed to help show up what's in my can't say, see, bowels, there you go. I'm so swollen still. And so, I drank this stuff. It tasted awful. It's like banana, and I hate anything that's flavored with banana. So anyway, I drank this stuff, and I started to get a really sore tummy, like really hurt, and my stomach like bloated right out, and I was like, wow. And I told the nurse who was in there, and she was like, oh yeah, that's quite normal. And then I was like, oh god, I need a loo. And usually when you drink radioactive stuff, you're not allowed to open all your valves, because you've got to stay in the body. Anyway, I had explosive diarrhea 5 or 6 times between finished drinking this stuff and going for the scan. And when I looked up, she told me it was clean prep. Now, I never heard of clean prep. I had mother prep, and that's all I ever had. So she then said, oh yeah, it's a laxative. I'm like, hello, like, did you not tell me? Plus, I was having to drink it through a straw, because literally I'd just been numbed up. All here was all white and hugely swollen, and I was in a lot of pain. And then the scan, you had to lie on your stomach, and I can't lean forward with this because the blood flow and the pressure on my mouth really hurts. So I had to lie like this, which really, really hurt. And then my stomach was gurgling away, and I needed to go to the toilet. I couldn't. So I had to hold it in, and I was lying on my stomach with this thing on my back, and they're looking at my sore brow, and I had to, the worst bit that it was, you had to hold your breath. Not in, you had to breathe in and then out and hold your breath for 20 seconds. And I was like, got to 10, and I'm like, I can't do this, I can't breathe. So I don't know if they got any good pictures or not, but anyway, that's beside the point. So anyway, in a lot of pain after that. So went home, still lots of pain, all night pain, and then I had about an hour's sleep, because the antidepressants I take make you sleep. So there's no way you can fight it. Anyway, 2 o'clock in the morning, woke up, such agony, like the worst. And swelling had got worse. And they said if it gets more swollen, to go back. So Adam was like, we need to go to A&E. And I was like, we have to go to Edinburgh because that's too far. And he's like, no, you need to go. So we went, and we were the only ones there. The doctor was amazing. She was so lovely. She called up to maxillofacial doctors who were on call. They were rubbish. They didn't want to see me. They took a picture of what my scar looked like, and they said, oh, it looks great, it looks really neat. I was like, it feels tight. And I know it's tight because I had it before, or the stitches in other dental surgeries had to be cut because they'd done it too tight. So anyway, so I went in, and I was like crying in pain, couldn't speak, worse than this. They gave me some Oromorph, which, because my stomach was also still diarrhea, I didn't care, because Oromorph usually makes you constipated, and I was the opposite, so it's fine. So I had that, and then they said you can stay, you'd have to wait 4 or 5 hours for the day team to come on, which is like the senior maxillofacial doctors. So I was like, I'd rather go home and then come back. So Adam had to take the day off work, and I was like still in a lot of pain, and it really hurt. And then I was in A&E as well. They said I had a high temperature, And so they gave me some antibiotics. They only gave me 2, and I had to take 2 at once. They said maybe there's an infection they can't see. Who knows? And so anyway, next morning, well, same morning, but later on that morning, they said 8:30 they'd call, nothing. 9:30, nothing. 10 o'clock, nothing. And we chased them. They said, oh, there is it, and they'll call you when they're free. And I'm like, I'm in serious pain. So at 10:30, we left to go back to the hospital because we were like, we're not waiting any longer, we'll go to A&E because I'm in this pain. And on our way there, we'd only got about 10 minutes down the road. The hospital called and they said that they wanted to see me in the clinic at 2. So I was like, oh, thank God. So I got home, waited, and then went back at 2 to the maxillofacial clinic. Basically, looked at the scar, said it looks great. As you can see, like, look, it's okay. The stitches are starting to come out a little bit. They said that I could have Tramadol, which I used in the past just for dental surgery because it's strong. They gave me a dispersal tablet, which is great because it doesn't fizz and it gets in my system quicker. And that's helped. Literally the first dose, it helped so much. And then the antibiotics really helped. On clindamycin, which I'd never had before. Well, I had no side effects and I feel a lot better in general. So I don't know if I had an underlying infection somewhere else for a while that's made me feel really bad. So anyway, so hopefully this knits together, because when the stitches came open, it had only been 6 days that nothing had knitted together. So hopefully this knits together before these stitches come out. So what I'm left with is a swollen lip still. This is still numb here. I still can't obviously talk properly. I can't say B for balloon. It's hard. My P's are getting there. M is getting there. It's all coming back a bit. I feel like almost like that side of my face just here is like originally I looked like I'd had a stroke, which I know is no joke, but I literally did. So I'll put some pictures in at the end and you can see the difference, and it will be from the most furthest up till now, so you can see how it's changed. I really hope this is all worth it, because this is a voluntary thing that I put myself forward for to see if I got Sjogren's, and if it shows that I don't, then I've gone through all this for nothing, really. I mean, yes, I know that I can rule it out, but it's just been the worst pain, the worst everything, and it's just, I'm so glad that hopefully, fingers crossed, this is it now. So that's why I was going to do a couple of videos and I couldn't because I can't talk very well. So anyway, that's it from me, and I will give you another update soon. Bye. Oh, hit subscribe.